I
We're
assume.
concerned about impeachment proceedings against him.
So that's also okay. So if the president is holding up the official duties of Congress, then we don't want to put that guy back in the
He's
president's
not the one
office,
that was
right?
holding it up.
Well, if he was doing impeachable offenses or they had reason to impeach him, then we don't want to put someone in, even if it's unjust, even if Congress just has like a hate boner for this guy. Why would we put him back in so Congress can have a hate boner for him for another 4 years?
Do you think it's acceptable for the president-elect of the United States to get on national television and drink?
What?
Drink what? Water, alcohol, vodka.
Alcohol.
Oh
You're
my
not
God,
drinking
that's almost
beer while
insane.
they're hurricane victims.
Do you know that,
Guys, did you know that Kamala Harris drank alcohol and you're gonna vote for her?
I was not talking to you.
All right, am I good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Nope.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, well, I'm 20. I'm voting for Harris.
Okay. Can you tell me a particular reason that you're voting for Harris?
Because we live in a two-party system and we're basically we're obligated to vote for one of the two major party candidates, and I could never see a universe in which I vote for Donald Trump. And he's bad enough to where I'm willing to vote against him.
Okay. I will let you guys rebut that in just a second. If you are in the queue and you are a Harris supporter, I need you to put blue hearts in the chat so I can let you up. If you are in the queue and are a Harris supporter, please put some blue hearts in the chat so I can let you up. But you got to be in the queue. I mean, you can put blue hearts all you want, but if you're not in the queue, I'm not letting you up. All right, 2 more, y'all. 2 more.
Hello.
Hey, how are ya?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me up.
Can you tell me your age, please?
Yes, I am above 20. I am from Wisconsin and I'm voting Harris all the way. Not voting, I'm supporting Harris all the way.
Okay, you say not voting. Is there a reason you're not voting?
No, because I cannot vote due to whatever technical reasons, I don't have the right to vote yet. But I'm supporting her.
Are you a green card holder?
Yeah.
So, okay, I got you.
So Chapo, age and you're supporting Harris, correct?
It's a little more nuanced than that, but I'm in my 30s.
Okay, and you're voting for Harris?
No.
Well, then why did you put blue hearts in the chat, man? Come on.
Well,
I
I'm
ain't trying to be
voting,
rude,
I'm voting
but-
for Democrats down ballot, but I'm not going to vote for somebody who unalives Palestinian children on a daily basis. Like, she does that on a routine basis.
Well, I get that, but here's the thing. I'm asking for Harris supporters for a reason, because I want to try to have an even panel. I don't want it to be a circle jerks of Republicans or Democrats either
I mean,
way.
I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm not gonna vote. I'm not gonna
K-Baby
vote for
is
her
for
because
Harris
I don't
and
want to
he's in
have
the
my
queue.
hands
So they're in
dirty.
the queue.
But I do kind of hope she wins. To be honest with you, because I think Trump is way worse.
I'm not going to put up with the over talking either.
Why would you not vote?
Sorry, did you hear me? That fundamentally sound is
No,
here.
I did not hear you, darling, over him. What'd you say?
That fundamentally sound is in the queue, and he's Harris.
Okay, I got you. I mean, I will let up another Trump supporter, at least if we get 3 Harris supporters. I'm cool with that.
Right.
But I want it to at least be as even as possible.
Oh, that Terry that was here earlier.
Okay. I'll get you in a minute, Terry.
I'll let him know.
All right. Fundamentally, how old are you? And you're voting for Harris, correct?
Yep.
26.
How old are you? 26? Okay. All right.
26.
I got you, darling. Okay, now I've got 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, I've got 6 people in the queue, guys. So right now, since we at least have 3 Harris supporters up here, I'm going to go ahead and put up the next one in line. If you are in the queue, hang out with us for a minute. I promise you, you will get up. Yes, Terry, I had some technical difficulties. All right, super. Can you tell me how old you are and who you're voting for, please?
North of 35 in Harris.
Okay, cool. All right. So I feel like first topic we should probably start off on, which I feel like to most Americans is the most important topic, and that is inflation and economics. So if anybody wants to start a particular statement or whatnot. So the four at the bottom, just so everybody knows, the four at the bottom are Harris supporters, four at the top are Trump supporters. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Bubble. I didn't let you did I let you introduce yourself?
You did.
Okay. Bubble, if you want to start the conversation, go for it.
Yeah, as far as the inflation is concerned, I think we are at the lowest lowest inflammation during this time period. I can give, if we just want to go into rhetoric, I can give some credit to the Biden-Harris administration for bringing down the inflation rate from 9-point-some% down to this, but that will be more rhetorical because we know there are factors, and the Fed is also involved in controlling the inflation. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm saying inflammation. Because the Fed is also involved in reducing this, and the team has done their part in bringing it down. I don't think it is right to, this is how it has been propagated. People have felt the pinch of the inflation, but I don't think that it is all a policy issue on the part of the administration. They did not voluntarily want to cause the inflation. There were factors, supply chain disruption, demand increase, and all that should be taken into consideration before accusing them of this.
Yeah, can I jump in real quick?
Sure.
So I think that
open debate, go for it.
whenever the election rolls around, we always kind of lose sight of what the president can actually do. The president doesn't seem to have like a super huge amount of influence over the way that the economy functions. Most of it is just unifying Congress to make sure that they can get anything passed. And if we look at the track record, way more huge pieces of legislation were passed under Biden than were passed under Trump. All Trump really got done was tax cuts and stimulus. So, I mean, when we look at what the president can do, Donald Trump has already shown that he does not hold any respect for the office that he's going to be voted into. And
well, on that, I don't really think that's fair that you say that, because although Biden may have passed more, you also have to look at what Trump went through while he was trying to pass things.
Right.
He wasn't really given too much of an opportunity when it comes to Congress from either side. Everything.
Well, you have to realize that that's the president's job, is to bring Congress together. Like I don't know what else him and the vice president are doing in regard to getting legislation passed than trying to rally Congress to pass bipartisan legislation. Donald Trump couldn't get any of it done because he's a controversial figure within his own party.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question here real quick.
Go ahead, Desert.
With the CHIPS Act, who passed that?
What do you mean? Like which presidency or?
Yeah, what presidency?
Joe Biden was the president when it was passed.
Who started it?
I don't know.
That'd be Trump.
That's regardless of my point, though. What I'm saying is that the president doesn't really have
my point, because he had things going through that couldn't get signed because he was tied up with court cases and everything else. And then when the Biden administration took over, they signed it.
So you're saying it was sitting on the president's desk during Trump's administration, and he just didn't sign it because he was caught up with court cases?
It was all hung up. It was all hung up because they wanted. It
was hung up because Congress didn't want to pass it. I assume.
Concerned about impeachment proceedings against him.
So that's also okay. So if the president is holding up the official duties of Congress, then we don't want to put that guy back in the
He's
president's
not the one
office,
that was
right?
holding it up.
Well, if he was doing impeachable offenses or they had reason to impeach him, then we don't want to put someone in, even if it's unjust, even if Congress just has like a hate boner for this guy. Why would we put him back in so Congress can have a hate boner for him for another 4 years?
Well, that's the problem with the Democratic Party because they just want to hunt for Trump.
Even though he doesn't, he's controversial within the Republican Party too. So it's he doesn't just have the Democrats working against him. He can't even unify his own party.
How
But
are we
that-
not unified?
but doesn't
Yeah, we
that
can do that.
but doesn't that show us?
How are we
Mitt
not
Romney.
how
Ask
are
Mike
we not
Pence.
unified?
But
Ask Mitt
doesn't
Romney, ask Mike Pence, ask Bill Barr.
but doesn't that show a lack of leadership?
A lack of leadership in what regard?
For Trump? Like if you was a CEO of a company and you have people on opposite sides of you have people in your workplace that doesn't want to work together or can't come to an agreement. If you can't be a leader, a good leader, and actually get things resolved,
Well,
then
it's
that-
not really the same thing because the president can't fire congressmen. You can't
But
use that
we're-
analogy
No,
against
it-
itself.
but it ain't about firing. It's about coming to an agreement. Like even with Harris, like they
No,
like
because sometimes you just can't come to agreement with people because they have so much hatred towards you for no
But
reason.
why would you want to put him back in for another 4 years if it's just going to tie up Congress again?
I'm going to tell you why. Because to tell you the truth, our security in this country was way better under Trump.
what security?
I didn't have to. Are you kidding me? Our national security. What do you mean, what security?
Security.
So when,
Supporters?
The
when
security
Donald
of the Pope. You know, like, are you serious?
So when Donald Trump pardoned, the guy who didn't register his lobbying for the Ukrainian president Yanukovych, he was within Trump's campaign, and Trump pardoned him after he was found guilty, after he pled guilty to FARA violations. How is this serving towards our national security?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Donald Trump had people within his cabinet that was doing uncertified lobbying for the pro-Russian Ukrainian president. He was in the cabinet. He pled guilty to violations of FARA, and then Donald Trump pardoned him. How is that it's serving our nation's national security?
And how
Well,
is
I don't really know what person you're talking about. I
Yeah,
haven't
Do
you have
actually
proof of that?
looked that
yeah?
up.
And we have
Yes, we have proof of it.
and we have national intelligence that said
Cool.
that
Can you
Trump
bring
believed
that up, please?
that Trump
Yeah,
believed
give me 1
Putin.
second.
Trump believed Putin over national intelligence. Like, how is that not a? That don't even make sense.
Well,
Paul?
what about Joe Biden simping for everything that the Ukrainian president wants him to do?
So,
Like, I mean, we could go tit for tat with this shit all night long.
No, but you ain't bringing up the actual. You just saying simping for him. Like, what did he actually do?
Yeah, what does
real
that
quick,
mean?
I just want to bring up Paul Manafort.
It's why,
Paul Manafort.
okay.
Well, let her respond. 'Cause I want to know what he actually did to simp for the Ukrainian president.
Paul Manafort
What do you
generated
mean?
tens of millions
He's
of
more
dollars.
worried about Ukraine's security than he is his own fucking people, and I have a
No,
big
but what
problem
did he
with that.
actually do though? Like,
Real-
I told you
I
something
just
Trump
told
actually
you.
did.
Real
I
quick,
just told you he's more
I was
worried
asked to-
about the Ukrainian security than he is the American people, and that's a problem for me.
So if
I
you
was,
want
I
worried,
was
you are
asked to
saying it, I don't think
I was
that is
asked to
true.
clarify. I was asked to clarify what I was talking about. Can I do that real quick?
Sure.
So Paul Manafort generated tens of millions of dollars from his unregistered lobbying work within the U.S. for the U.S. president of Okay, sorry. Let me restart. Paul Manafort generated tens of millions of dollars from his unregistered lobbying work on behalf of the Ukrainian president Viktor Yanukovych, and he was within a cabinet position of Donald Trump. And then he pled guilty to FARA violations because he didn't register that money that he was getting from a foreign government with FARA. He pled guilty to that charge, and then Donald Trump pardoned him before he left office. So my question is if we're concerned with national security, why are we trying to reelect the guy who pardoned someone who was doing
So
unregistered
you-
lobbying on behalf
you
of the
make a
Ukrainian
s-
president?
You make
Unregistered
a statement, and that's
lobby.
Paul Manafort. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Paul Manafort.
Okay. Well, but see, here's the thing. You can make a statement and you can say something. It may be true, it may not be true. You have still yet to provide proof of that. Now, I'm going to look it up and I'm going to do some research on my own to see what you're talking about, because I didn't really pay attention to who Trump pardoned and who he didn't, to tell you the truth. That
Which
really
is
wasn't
fair.
one of my concerns.
No,
But I'll
which
tell you what
National
is one of my...
security is your concern. Then why did that
Yeah,
skirt under
absolutely.
your nose?
No, I would just like to add, Riniel,
Um,
that's okay. Maybe they don't know about it. I think that should be, I mean, that may be a point which may be given to them in the sense that, okay, you look it up and see, you've stated your fact. But what I want to add over here is that what you said, at least you're giving some names and something, versus the host who just said he's simping for Ukraine. I mean, Zelensky.
Exactly.
I
Like
mean, yeah,
no
do
actual
better than that statement,
no actual in details. It's just vague statements.
Well,
Okay,
also, like
here's
when we're
here's a
talking about
question in regards to that. Why hasn't the Biden administration filed charges against Hunter Biden for the same thing?
they
But
did. He got indicted.
everything.
He pleaded guilty on those charges that you just laid out.
No, he got his charges was
No.
for taxes.
Exactly.
yes, yeah.
He
So why
pleaded
would this
guilty for
administration
taxes,
charges don't
buddy.
sign with the
Okay,
same crime?
so the House
That's
did
potatoes
an
and tomatoes.
impeachment probe. Just real quick, the House did an impeachment probe to all of the Hunter Biden, all of the Joe Biden Burisma stuff, and they didn't end up impeaching him. Why is that?
So I want to point something out here, though. This Paul Manafort guy only got 47 months in prison. So regardless if Trump was going to pardon him or did pardon him or not, he still had very minimal time and was going to be let loose within the country within a very short time anyway. So
what
I
we're
really
showing
don't
is
see
that
how
Donald
that
Trump just pardoned
provides.
the guy.
Let me finish. That I don't see how that is a problem or a threat to our national security when the justice system only gave him 47 months in prison anyway.
Because Donald Trump pardoned a former cabinet member who was getting millions of dollars from a pro-Russian former president of Ukraine.
Dude, I understand what you're saying, but what
How is
I
that
am
not
saying,
crazy?
the court system only gave him 47 months
And
in
then Donald Trump
prison.
interfered on his behalf and gave him 0. That's crazy. Donald Trump wiped away his sentence even though he was getting illegal funds from a pro-Russian Ukrainian president.
we could
Illegal
talk
funds
about
up to
Hunter
tens of
Biden
millions
all
of
day long.
dollars. How is that not crazy?
We could talk about Hunter Biden all day long.
We're not talking about. I know you really want to talk about Hunter
That's all
Biden,
they- that's
but
all
we're
they say
talking
every
about
time you bring up a topic, they
Donald
wanna
Trump
switch.
cabinet member.
Oh,
Now,
you
I'm
just
pretty
sound
sure
like
that Hunter
the same
Biden isn't
fucking
in.
echo chamber. Shut
I'm
up.
pretty sure that Hunter
Listen.
Biden isn't in Joe
No
Biden's.
emotions, no facts.
I'm pretty sure that Hunter Biden isn't in Joe Biden's cabinet.
So,
Paul Manafort
okay,
was in
hold
Trump's
on.
cabinet. He was getting
Well,
tens of millions of
so
dollars and
hold
robbing
on,
the U.S. government from a
hold on.
pro-Russian Ukrainian
Wait a
president.
minute.
Let the host
Shut up
speak.
for a second. So okay. So that'd be roughly 4 years in prison, right? 47 months. 48 months is a year. He got, or 4 years. He got 47 months in prison, which is a month shy of 4 years. With good time served, he may have gotten a year and a half. Okay, because they do that. You realize they do that, right? Time served, you're
Why
you're
did
good
Trump
or
pardon him?
whatever. You're not gonna.
Yes,
you're
we
gonna
all
let
know
me
that.
finish. You're gonna let
Why
me
did
finish.
Trump make that sentence 0?
So maybe a year and a half in prison. So obviously the justice system didn't think that he was too big of a threat.
Was
They
that a
would have
federal
They
given
thought he
him
was a big enough
lot.
threat to prosecute
They
him.
would have
Wasn't that a
given him
federal-
a lot
Time.
longer.
Wasn't that
They
a
would
federal
have
crime?
given him a lot longer in prison than 4 years and then a year and a half time served.
Wasn't
Why
that
are
a
you
federal-
skirting around the question? Why
Wasn't
did
that a-
Trump pardon
Was that a
him?
federal crime?
Regardless if he was sentenced to that or not, or Donald Trump pardoned him, he still would have been out in a year and a half.
But wasn't
But
that
why did
federal
He
Trump
crime?
pardon
obviously
him?
isn't too big
No,
of a
no, he
threat
wasn't. No, he
anyway.
wouldn't. No,
Why
he
did
wouldn't.
Trump
That was a
pardon him,
federal
though?
crime. You're gonna do way more than that
I
on a
don't
federal
know
crime.
why Trump pardoned him. Why don't you go ask Trump? I don't know.
Because
That's not
the
what I'm worried
obvious
about.
answer
I'm
is
worried
because
about
he
the
was a former
national
cabinet person and
security,
he's corrupt.
and you're
That's the
bringing up
obvious
something
answer.
that is completely irrelevant
You
Donald
to
said
Trump
national
national
security. That is
security.
national security.
Donald
It's
Trump also
irrelevant
pardoned.
to national security when our
How?
justice system was
He
only
had
going to make
someone
him
in
serve
his
a year and a
cabinet who
half.
was lobbying on behalf of Russia. How is that? How is that? How is that irrelevant to national security? And then why did Donald Trump
what was
pardon all
his
of the
job
people
in the
lying to
cabinet?
Congress
What was
as a
his,
part
what
of the
was his
Mueller
job
report?
in the cabinet? What was his job in the cabinet?
I'm
I
pretty
have a
sure it was
point to
like
make
some
at this.
some regard to security. Let me look it up.
No, I have
to be sure.
a point to make over here that I mean we are talking about okay he was sentenced for X number of months but he that was a small sentence why it was not a long sentence I don't think that is the point. The point is that here is a person and who's caught today. Let's say if somebody is caught
Okay,
in
hold
the
on,
Biden
Bubble.
administration who
Hold on,
has
Bubble.
You gonna let nobody talk.
One second. So he was actually the advisor to the presidential campaign. He had nothing to do with anything
I'm sorry, he was only a high-ranking member in his election campaign. My bad.
Was not. No, he did not have any access to national security whatsoever. He was not in a position to receive any details as far as the country goes on national
He was the campaign
security.
chairman.
It's
Campaign,
the fucking
keyword.
campaign, not the office.
Okay,
Right,
so
that has
where's
nothing to
the
do with
outrage
it.
when he was saying as a part of the documents case, hey, I'm not supposed to show you this because it's not because it's classified, and then he showed the reporter anyway. We have audio of that. Where's the outrage with that?
Audio.
the only audio you have.
Audio.
The
Do
only
you know
audio
how
you
many
have.
fucking
The
people?
audio, huh?
Do you
LOL,
know
that's not
how?
evidence.
Do you know how many? Do you know how many people? Like I've heard 3 people today that sound like fucking Donald Trump.
But
Like, are
the
you
only
kidding
thing-
me?
You don't put fake audio in court
Ma'am.
proceedings.
Sir,
That was
sir.
part of the case that
You
got
don't?
thrown out by
the Democrats
Cannon.
don't just do whatever the fuck they want to do all the time.
Can
They
I
don't
say
do that.
something?
Okay.
That's
Sir, nobody
absolutely.
Can I say
No, they
something?
don't.
more
They
than the
don't put
Republicans.
fake
Come on now.
evidence in lawsuits. No.
Nobody
can I
saw
say
what
Oh, they
Trump was
don't.
waving.
They don't.
No.
Hey, if you want to talk about
Can I make
national
a point?
security, I know Republicans hate fucking talking about this, or people bringing up this point. But I mean, if you're going to
Can
talk about national security and the threat within our own country, you could easily make the argument of everybody that January 6th did the riot
January
right on the
6th,
Capitol,
yeah.
and he wants to pardon all those people for saying, they were good people or blah blah blah.
Okay, let's
That's
talk
on the
about
day of love.
Jason.
Can I
And
say one
that's
thing?
what happens when you put a criminal in charge of pardons.
You
Can I say
guys,
something real
one
quick?
at a time, or I'm gonna start muting you.
Can I say something? I just got on here. If I can just say
Sure,
something.
Giovanni, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. You guys were talking about who Trump pardoned, okay? And you guys seem to care about that so much. And you guys seem to care about endangering America by pardoning wrong people. So let me ask you this. Are you ready?
Can I make a point before that?
Let's talk about Bill Clinton pardoning a woman who tried to blow up, literally tried to blow up the White House, who got
Watch your
58 years.
words. Watch
Careful,
your
TikTok
words.
safe
Watch your
words.
Watch
You
your
know
words.
what? That's a really good point. I think in this election, I'm not going to vote for Bill Clinton. You really convinced me not to vote for Bill Clinton in the 2024 election.
Wrong?
Let him finish.
Can I
Let
finish,
him
please?
finish.
This woman tried to unalive the White House. Okay, let's put it that way. They tried to unalive the White House, and Bill Clinton pardoned this woman. She got 58 years in the state penitentiary. So you want to talk about who Trump pardoned? That's fine and dandy. But wait a minute. When Bill Clinton is pardoning a woman that tried to unalive the White House, did you say anything at that particular time? That's all I want to know.
I'm a
Did you
little
that is
say-
wrong.
confused. Is the
That is wrong.
2024 election
That's
between
wrong.
Donald Trump and Bill Clinton?
No, I'm not asking
Did
that.
they
I'm not
swap out
asking
Harris
that.
again?
You should not have done
Why
that.
can't you
now?
pivot? I'm asking you
Ringan, say
straight
it.
up
It's
question.
wrong.
Is
You
Clinton
should
the
not have done
DNC? Is Clinton the DNC nominee now?
I'm not asking you. Well, actually, he was up there speaking for Kamala Harris. So
Okay, so I'm not going to vote for Bill Clinton.
He represents the Democrat Party.
He's a piece
He
of shit
does.
for that. I'm not voting for Bill Clinton. You
No,
got
but
me.
you'll just vote for the person that Bill Clinton wants to represent.
Right.
You'll
Yeah.
just do
Instead
that.
of the guy who pardoned the dude who was doing illegal lobbying for him. Yes.
I really don't care because
I know you don't
year
care
and a
because
half
Donald
is
Trump
a
can't do anything
whole
wrong. That's
big
where it always
difference
backs up to.
than
He got 58
Hold on.
years.
literally
You
letting a
can't
country do
make
what
the
they want.
affiliation argument because
guys,
everybody
one
has
at a
fucking dirty
time.
hands on both sides.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
One
really
at
gonna
a
start muting
time,
people.
please.
That's an awesome
I was
point
trying
you
to
made,
make
bro.
a point.
Sorry, K baby.
You're all right, darling.
All right, so let's just get off of this completely because this is going nowhere. Let's hear
Right.
why you're voting for Kamala.
Yeah,
Without
why
saying
are
Trump.
you voting?
Hey, now what is that condition without saying Trump?
Yeah,
Because
Without
say
why
Trump.
should
saying
I say?
because I don't
Should I
like
say
Trump, Trump did
no?
this or
Should I say
that. Why are you
no?
voting for Kamala?
No,
It's because we live in a two-party system. There's two options. That's why.
and it has to be comparative. Kamala is
What
not
do
the
you like about her
she's not.
do
Hold
about
policies?
on. Yeah,
What do
she's
You
you
want me
not
to
the
want to
ask
do
it that way?
she's not the perfect candidate, and therefore there will always be a comparison. But yeah, I can tell you, she's at least she's a candidate who I see personally as someone who has integrity. She's upholding the values for which America stands for, the way I have seen it. She's not someone who spews hate against those who disagree with her or criticize her
Okay,
or give her low ratings.
so
She's not that kind of a
Bubble,
person.
I have a question about her
She builds
integrity.
and
You want to bring
strengthens
up
alliances
integrity?
instead of,
Hold on,
like
Babel. Hold on, Babel.
You want to bring up her integrity. Do you think it's acceptable for the president-elect of the United States to get on national television and drink?
What?
drink what? Water, alcohol, vodka.
Alcohol.
Oh my
Even
God,
drinking
the double
beer
standard
while
is
hurricane
insane.
victims.
Do you know that,
Hold
guys?
on,
Did you know
Shut
that Kamala Harris
up,
drank alcohol,
okay?
and you're gonna vote for her?
I was not talking to you. You know what she was drinking. I should not have to
Yeah,
explain
it was beer at the
myself.
Stephen Colbert thing, right?
I can't believe that
Yes.
Kamala Harris
I'm
drank
definitely not
alcohol.
talking about
How
her
could we
drinking
vote for
water.
her? We're gonna
No,
vote instead for the
definitely. I
for the
don't see
obviously
anything wrong.
corrupt
She was not
80-year-old
drunk. She
because she
took a
drank
sip of it.
alcohol
Maybe
once.
she finished the can. I don't see what's the problem there. I think
Okay.
there are plenty
So
of
let me
cameras
ask you
that